This is the most annoying recording session I've ever had. I've done 7 takes, and I have messed up every single one.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Well, hey, I'm Wibbs. And before we get started, I just wanted to say that if you have been one of the people that have tuned into the channel in the past week or so, thank you. And if you're one of the people who have been here since the very beginning, I love you. No, in all seriousness, my channel has been doing amazing with the past 2 videos, and people seem to really like them, so we are going to continue while I pour my passion into what I love to do. But today's video is a review on AFK Journey. This game has been flooding my media feed for a long time now. There has been millions of ads, so many streamers and YouTubers alike, all getting sponsored by this game. So I wanted to, as somebody that got an offer but did not want to take it, review the game completely unbiased. The game starts out extremely simple. You wake up in your house and your redheaded stepchild is just nagging you over and over again because as a single parent, you're not allowed to take a nap. She then informs you that your name is Merlin. Yes, you are Merlin the Wizard. She tells you that you are one of the most powerful mages in all of Who the Fuck Cares. After the intro dialogue, which is fully voice acted and done extremely well, even like her animation is not garbage. The art style and animation are 2 of the biggest positives in this game. It looks good and it is pretty neat. The game early on is phrased as an RPG with some AFK mobile elements, and later in the game you realize that it leans way heavier onto the AFK mobile elements, not much onto the RPG, but the early game story is pretty good. As you can see here, I am not spam clicking through all of the audio dialogue. I am reading. I'm reading? After a fairly snappy conversation with Dolly here, you then are moved into the character creation. The character creation is actually extremely bare bones. Really, there isn't much in the character creation that is unique. I wasn't shocked by what I got. All of the options were limited, and so I just went double down and wanted to make my guy look like an edgy vampire. You then pick a name, and this is your display name for the entire game because it does have some MMO aspects like seeing other players in the open world. You then leave your house, and this is Tutorial Island, where you are taught how to move, interact, and battle? Question mark? Yeah, you do fight on this island. It's extremely bare bones fight. You do meet Hammy or Zippy, what I don't know what his name is. You are then thrust into a town that is under siege by fire elementals. You, General Hogan, and some unnamed bodyguards fight them off. This is your tutorial battle. You only have 2 heroes in the bottom here that you can see, and this is what you do. General Hogan buffs up and one-shots every single one of them, and you continue on just like that. This is just to get you started, so that way you can understand how the combat works and that characters have ultimate abilities. After some more dialogue, you are then pushed further into the town, and you go to solve the fire elemental problem. You and your crew of misfits are now fighting a tornado for some reason. That is level 8. It's pretty terrifying. This is one of those, you know, standard video game fights that you are forced to lose, even though it does look like you're winning, and nobody really died in the battle. They just make you lose, and so that way they get to play this cutscene. Now, like I mentioned, the animation and art style carry this game, especially early game. I mean, look at this hand-animated cutscene where you and your friends are getting rolled by a tornado. You then go Super Saiyan, glow gold with the holy power of Christ, summon the wrath of God from your father, and smite down the tornado. Hammy is impressed. Once you finally smite down the tornado, you then, as all anime protagonists, realize that you shouldn't exert 10% of your energy because it will make you want to take a nappies. Mom did not bring tendies for this battle. Afterwards, one of the characters that were introduced earlier, Valen, is sitting there waiting for you to wake up. He then takes you to the main city where the main quest actually begins. Now, for your sake and mine, I won't go too detailed into the story, but I will say for the first 2 hours, the story was actually interesting. As far as the combat, it is not too bad. You have hexagonal tiles that you place characters on, and they go willy-nilly when you hit fight. You get to pick 5 characters from your roster and place them on these hexagonal tiles. You have characters that have certain roles such as mages, tanks, knights, assassins, all of the above, summoners as well. I don't know if they're actually called that, but with that, you and your party adventure through the world as presented. It is extremely cool to walk through this hand-painted world. It doesn't feel procedurally generated, it actually feels kind of natural. You are then presented with your hero upgrades, where you can level up your certain characters and equip them with different items. It's an extremely simple thing where you click one button and your DPS role is now just ready. You click another button, your assassin role is also ready as far as mages, and leveling up is as easy as spam clicking one button over and over and over again until they are no longer able to be leveled up. Bam! Make it extremely simple. Bam, bam, bam. Your iPad baby could play this game. Bam, bam, bam. And then we get into where the majority of my issues lie with this game. Early game, they give you a ton of these cards that let you unlock a lot of characters right out of the gate. The issue with that is it becomes a little bit more scarce to get them later in the game, and you do need them to help you progress through hero ascension and leveling up other characters. I'm sorry for the recording, it bugged out here. You can see part of my desktop right here, but I'm not fixing it, fuck you. But if you have 3 brain cells, you can realize that this is gambling. The worst part about this gambling is that if you roll the dice to get one character, the tap to continue button gets replaced very quickly with pull another, which, if you didn't know, if you don't have the cards, will take you immediately to the store. So it's a very shady way to push you to try to buy things and spend more money. It doesn't feel natural. It feels like they're calling me an idiot because I'm too impatient to, I don't know, wait for the stupid 3-second animation that shouldn't even be there in the first place. Later in the game, you are presented by these purple barriers that you cannot progress through unless your AFK battle is at a certain level, meaning that your party has progressed through the AFK battle on your own accord. You have to actually stop your gameplay to progress in this system. The issue is that when you run into these purple walls, it is typically about 10 levels above where you would be naturally on your AFK battle. And that is where the issue comes into play. So let's say I'm level 40. My AFK battle rank is level 50. I come to a purple wall about 3 hours into the game, and it requires me to be level 55 to even try to attempt to get into this purple barrier. How do I do this? I already spent all of my cards on just random heroes to get me through the base game. I either have to wait for my AFK items to build up so therefore I can progress through the game, or just swipe your credit card. Come on, mom, give me your credit card. So pushing gacha mechanics onto character progression is a mobile game kind of staple. There is no way around it, in all honesty. It is just annoying. It bothers me. This is why I don't like mobile games that force you to buy things. I would rather have you pop up cosmetic options in banners or even as a pop-up window so I can close them and not worry about it. But when you're stopping my progression, it feels really bad. But then we get into one of the worst problems in this entire game. While talking to my buddy about what I was going to do in this video, he was like, check Stream Elements and see if they offered you a sponsorship, see what the qualifications are. And I did. Wow. Very simple at first. Unlock this character, use this item, get to this level. Standard mobile game advertising things. I've done this before. What I've never seen before was an incentive to spend money for them to reimburse you double. That's not a lie. Stream Elements, it takes your numbers directly and gives you these numbers for advertisements. It's for helping smaller streamers that don't have a management or accounting team to hunt for advertisers for them. My issue was when I look and I see that I am a 0 viewer Andy and they still offered me to spend $5 to make $10, how much is a 100 viewer person getting? That is insane. So if you were sitting there and your favorite streamer was streaming AFK Journey and buying cards to open on stream, you now understand the incentive behind this. They were getting reimbursed fully. I don't know if the program allowed them to say this or anything, but it is a direct attack to their viewers in general. They don't believe that you were smart enough not to understand. Don't gamble. Gamble and follow in my footsteps. That is very malicious. This is something that I would feel should be illegal in any kind of space. I feel like if a casino lets you film inside, gave you $500 to spend, and then reimburse you fully plus 10%, it would be illegal. There's no real stakes to the system involved, especially if you are sponsored. That is bad. And it's a shame for a game with such a good art style and so much love into the animation that they even wanted to do that. The marketing team or whoever wants to make the money is a greedy son of a bitch. This is the first video in a series that I will be calling Not Sponsored, where I take advertisements shoved onto maybe not only me, but but also smaller games that might want to, and I give them a completely honest review. There is no reason for me to take money from a game that I will never play, nor will there be any reason for me to tell you guys to play a game that absolutely sucks. AFK Journey is good for the first 2 hours. After that, give up. Don't spend your money on it. It is not a horrible game. Admire the art style. Admire the animations, because those had love put into them. The money, microtransactions, and items are all extremely malicious and not worth your time. I think that's a wrap, baby.